Hello students, welcome to the second part of the video Lifelines of National Economy. Here we are seeing about the importance of railways. Development of railway. The Indian Railway is now reorganized into 16 zones. The distribution pattern, the railway network in the country has been largely influenced by the physiographic, economic, administrative factors. The northern plains with their vast level land, high population density and rich agricultural resources provided the most favorable condition for their growth. However, a large number of rivers requiring construction of bridges across their wide beds pose some obstacles. In the hilly terrain of the peninsular region, railway tracks are laid through low hills gaps or the Himalayan mountains regions too are unfavorable for the construction of railway lines due to high relief, sparse population, and lack of economic opportunities. In recent times, the development of Konkan Railway along the west coast has facilitated the movement of passengers and goods in this most important economic region of India. It has also faced a number of problems such as sinking of track in some stretches and landslides. Today, the railway have become more important in our national economy than all other means of transport put together. Theft and damaging of railway property has not yet stopped completely. People stop the trains, pull the chain unnecessarily, and this causes heavy damage to the railway. Next is pipeline. The far inland location of refineries like Barauni, Mathura, Panipat, and gas based fertilizer plants could be thought of only because of pipelines. Initial cost laying pipeline is high, but subsequent running costs are minimal. It rules out transshipment losses or delays. There are three important network of pipeline transporting in the country. From oil fields in Upper Assam to Kanpur, from Salaya in Gujarat to Jalandhar in Punjab, gas pipelines from Hazira in Gujarat connects Jagdishpur in Uttar Pradesh via Vijaypur in Madhya Pradesh, Vijapur in Madhya Pradesh. It has branches to Kota in Rajasthan, Shahjahanpur, Babrala and other places in Uttar Pradesh. Now we come to waterways. Waterways are the cheapest means of transport. They are most suitable for carrying heavy and bulky goods. It is fuel efficient and environment friendly mode of transport. The Ganga River between Allahabad and Haldia, these are the following waterways which have been declared as the national waterways by the government. The West Coast Canal in Kerala, the other viable inland waterways include the Godavari, Krishna, Barak, Sundarbans, Buckingham Canal, Brahmani, East-West Canal, Damodar Valley Corporation Canal. The major seaports with a long coastline of 7,516.6 km, India is dotted with 12 major and 181 medium and minor ports. These major ports handle 95% of India's foreign trade. Kandla in Kutch was the first developed port, and by the loss of Karachi port to Pakistan after the partition, India the volume of track on the Mumbai port came more. Kandla is a tidal port. It caters to the convenient handling of exports and imports. Mumbai is the biggest port with a spacious, natural and well-sheltered harbour. Jawaharlal Nehru Port was planned with a view to decongest the Mumbai port, and Marmagaon Port is the premier iron ore exporting port of the country. The new Mangalore port, located in Karnataka, caters to the export of iron and concentrates from Kudarmukh mine. On the east coast is the port of Tuticorin in Tamil Nadu, and Chennai is one of the oldest artificial port of the country. It is ranked next to Mumbai in terms of the volume of trade and cargo. Vishakhapatnam is the deepest landlocked and well protected port, whereas Paradip port located in Orissa specializes in the export of iron ore. Kolkata is an inland riverine port. This port serves a very large and rich interland of Ganga, Brahmaputra basin. Being a tidal port, it requires constant dredging of Hooghly. Haldia port was developed as a subsidiary port in order to relieve growing pressure on the Kolkata port. Now we come to airways. The air transport was nationalized in 1953 on the operational side. Indian Airlines, Air India means private scheduled airline and non-scheduled operators provide domestic air service. Air India provides international air services. Pawan Hans Helicopters Limited provide helicopter services to oil and natural gas, commissioned in its offshore operation to in inaccessible areas and difficult terrains like the northeastern states and the interior parts of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttaranchal. Indian Airlines operations also extend to the neighboring countries of South and Southeast Asia and Middle East. Personal communication and mass communication, including television, radio, press, films, etc., are major means of communication in the country. Now, the Indian Postal Network is the largest in the world. It handles parcels as well as personal written communication. To facilitate quick delivery of mails in large towns and cities, 6 mail channels have been introduced recently. They are called the Rajdhani Channel, Metro Channel, Green Channel, Business Channel, Bulk Mail Channel, and Periodical Channel. Telephone has one of the largest network in Asia. In order to strengthen the flow of information from the grassroots to the higher level, the government has made special provision to extend 24 hours STD subscriber trunk dial facility to every village in the country. There is a uniform rate of STD facilities all over India. It has been made possible by integrating the development in space technology with communication technology. India is one of the fastest growing mobile network in the world. Mobile phones have changed the way Indians conducted business. Now even low income group people like vegetable vendors, plumbers and carpenters get better business because they are connected through mobile phones. The Central Board of Film Certification is the authority to certify both Indian and foreign films. Mass communication provides entertainment and creates awareness among people from various national programs and policies. All India Radio broadcasts a variety of programs in national, regional and local languages for various categories of people spread over different parts of the country. Doordarshan, the national television channel of India, is one of the largest terrestrial networks in the world. It broadcasts a variety of programs from entertainment, educational to sports for people of different age groups. Newspaper publishes a large number of newspaper and periodicals annually. They are of different types of depending upon their periodicity. Newspaper are published in about 100 languages and dialects. Largest number of newspaper published in the country are in Hindi followed by English and Urdu. Now we come to international trade. Trade between two countries is called international trade. It may take place through sea, air or land routes. Advancement of international trade of a country is an index of its economic prosperity. It is therefore considered the economic barometer for a country. Balance of payment, this is the difference between export and import of a country. When export is higher than import, then the situation is favorable or balance of payment. On the other hand, when the import is higher than export, then is a situation of unfavorable balance of payment. Here we see the commodities witnessing growth in share in export. Bulk imports as a group registered a growth accounting for 39.09% of total imports. This group includes fertilizers, cereals, edible oils and newsprint. International trade has undergone a sea change in the last 15 years. Exchange of commodities and goods have been suppressed by the exchange of information and knowledge. India has emerged as a software giant at the international level and it is earning large foreign exchange through the export of information technology. Now we see tourism as a trade. Foreign tourist arrives in the country witnessed an increase of 23.5% during the year 2004 as against the year 2003, thus contributing rupees 21,828 crore of foreign exchange. Tourism has also promotes national integration, provides support to local handicraft and cultural pursuit. It also helps in the development of international understanding about our culture and heritage. That's all in this chapter. Thank you, children.